my God.
Master Shredder! What's going on, guys? This is Gary from Killer Off-Road Hobbies, coming at you with another first look video. This is going to be the REDCAT Shredder 1/6 scale 4-wheel drive monster truck, or monster trucky. Does have this nice big wing back here. As you can tell, my voice is still a little off. I'm feeling much better, and thank you guys all for wishing me to get well soon. And yeah, I'm getting better. It's just kind of a slow process. I don't really go to doctors or anything, but that's not even part of this whole thing, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, guys, so I saw this. I know it's relatively new. It's the V2 Shredder. 1/6 scale. I think 6 scale is gonna pretty much take over. You know, eighth and bigger is kind of where it's going, it seems like. So it's good to see companies coming out with newer stuff, like REDCAT coming out with this, or revamping this thing. So let's get into it. Let's go over the boring stuff first. So in the package you get the transmitter. Some people don't like the design of this thing, as I've seen on the few videos that have been posted about this truck so far. I actually think this is a decent transmitter. It does have this pop-up right here. It has your steering reverse, your throttle reverse, your steering dual rate, throttle trim, and steering trim with your off-on switch. And it does take 4 AA batteries, which is where it's at. It is 2.4 gigahertz. The wheel does have this nice rubber on it for finger comfort, and it just feels pretty cool. The only thing it has like protruding from it is this little antenna here. I'm not sure about the range and everything, but we will check that out. All in all, I think it's decent, especially for the price of this kit. Now, also in the box, when you get this antenna tube and this little bind plug, just in case it does come unbound. And it does have a bind button on the transmitter, just to clarify that. And then you get your owner's manual. Alright, so put the junk LIFO stuff aside. Let's check out. Tells you about the electronics, thread locking stuff, how to use your transmitter and everything. And then this has a blow up of the whole truck, which is beautiful, and it does have a parts list, guys. So yeah, that is good. Good owner's manual stuff. Right on REDCAT, kudos for doing that. And then your programmable ESC, it goes through the steps, tells you how to do it. That's awesome too. So good job on that, REDCAT. I will give you kudos for that. Now, getting to the truck. This truck is actually pretty big. It's low profile, but it is relatively big, guys. This wing is absolutely massive. That thing's huge. Look at that. It's a huge wing on there. I am pretty certain that these are the stock Terramoto V2 tires that's running on here. It is running 17mm hexes. Let's take the body off. Now the body would be like kind of a acquired taste. I think it's okay. I wouldn't necessarily like say it's an awesome looking body, but it's definitely not the worst I've seen. And the only thing I really don't like about it is kind of these like shark teeth type things. The Cal Air hood, or like the hood scoop type thing, that would be cool, but I don't know. It's just kind of funky how they put the space in the middle and everything. But as far as the rest of the body, I think it's good and it feels good. the body feels nice and sturdy. So that should be good. It feels good all the way around. It doesn't feel like it has any thin spots, which some bodies tend, you know, it's nice and thick on the top, but the sides will be pretty flimsy. This thing just feels good all the way around. So not the coolest looking thing in my eyes, but it does feel solid. Okay, getting to the truck. Now this thing is enormously simplified. I mean, this thing is just about as basic as you can get. Looking at the front, it is a completely different setup from the Terremoto A-arms and stuff, but your camber is definitely adjustable, and your toe in, toe out is adjustable. It does have the exact same shocks as the Terremoto V2, which on the Terremoto V2 they felt worse than this, but these feel okay. Probably need some thicker oil because this thing does have a little bit of weight to it, but the bumper feels pretty sturdy, but at the same time having flexibility and give. The whole front, as you can see, this is one part I don't like, and I'm going to mention it right now. I do not like how they mated the aluminum chassis up to this plastic piece here. I don't like that. I think that's going to be an extreme weak point for this truck, is this joint right here. It does look like on top they did reinforce it okay, but we'll have to see how that how it works out. Now, the drive shafts look to be about 5 millimeters thick, and they are CVDs in the front and rear, so that's cool. That's kind of a step up. It does have plastic shock towers with the shocks being double shear setup, top and bottom, but there's very little adjustability on the shock tower, but you do have 4 places on the actual A-arm. So you only got 2 on the shock tower, but you have 4 on the A-arm. You can drop it down a little bit lower, kind of lower the truck's ride height. The shocks are aluminum bodied and threaded, so that's pretty cool, depending on if they leak. These same shocks were on the Terremoto V2 POS I had, and they tended to leak like really bad. And then the body post is just this little piece of plastic right here that bolts to the rear of the shock tower, and it's the same situation in the rear. Toe in and toe out is adjustable on the rear, or not toe in, camber is adjustable on the rear. Toe in and toe out is stationary with your typical H-arms on the bottom. Same thing with the shocks. The shocks are set up exactly the same. Now, are these mirrored? No. So the front and rear A-arms do not look the same. So they're not mirrored. No. Yeah, they're not mirrored. This aluminum chassis plate does look pretty sweet though. And here's your gear mesh adjustments. And I will say that out of the box, my gear mesh is way too tight, so I'm gonna have to adjust that. So if you do end up picking up one of these guys, make sure you look into that. It does have aluminum steering blocks in the front, and in the rear they are plastic. These are your battery trays here, basically to stand up like a 2S pack. This thing does come with a 1300 kV brushless motor. It looks to be about a 3682 maybe. I'd have to look that up, but it looks to be either 74 or 82. It's no bigger than that, but it is only about a 36 around can, and it does only come with a 80 amp 4S capable ESC. It's waterproof though. The ESC, the motor, and the hex fly is a 15 kg servo. Alright, so coming to the rear, this is kind of concerning. I mean, that's a lot of flexibility, but that doesn't seem very solid, and I don't know. We'll have to see. Like I said in the beginning, this thing is four-wheel drive, but it does have 3 diffs. It has a center diff, a front, and a rear diff. Now, from what I've heard, the diffs in this thing are good, the front and rear diff. It does have a plastic spur gear on the center diff, and we'll take it out and see, you know, if it needs to be tuned or whatnot, if it's bleeding a ton of power to the front. That'll all remain to be seen. But the fact that a truck this big only comes 4S capable is kind of, I mean, that's, you know, it is 4S. It might have power and torque, but for the price point, I mean, you can't ask a whole lot. You can get this kit for about $360 anywhere, and it is a 1/6 scale. Has a couple of quirks that I've seen so far, like you know, the transition to the plastic front. I mean, it could hold up, it could just break to pieces, only being 4S capable with an 80 amp ESC. But hey, if this truck runs nice and I like it, I will upgrade all this stuff. I'll put a 6S capable ESC and a nice big fatty motor in here, and we'll see what this thing can do. All in all, for the price, I'm not gonna bash on it yet until I actually go bash on it. I picked this thing up because, you know, it just recently came out to my knowledge, and there's not a whole lot of stuff out on YouTube about it yet. So I wanted to pick it up and get you guys some running videos and everything, and let you know what I think of this truck. So that's going to be it for the first look. This is the 1/6 scale REDCAT Shredder. And yeah, we're going to put this truck through its paces and see what it can take, see what breaks, if anything breaks, if the whole thing breaks. You know, that'll just be part of the testing. So if you like this video, please give it the old thumbs up. If you didn't like it, don't be shy about smashing that thumbs down. If you want to check out the description, you can get a Killer Off-Road Hobbies t-shirt. It's not this exact shirt, but it is a Killer Off-Road Hobbies t-shirt, and it's just more support for the channel. And I appreciate all you guys that have bought shirts, and all you guys that appreciate what I do and support me. Another thing is the donations is in the description below too, where you can still get in on the Savage XL Flux raffle. That's gonna stay open. I said it was gonna stay open till Sunday, but I'm actually going on my trip and I won't be here Sunday, so I'm gonna go ahead and just keep it open till Wednesday night. I'll be back by then, and I know everybody's busy, so if everybody's on vacation and stuff, possibly if anybody wants to get back and get in on it, that'll give them time. You know, I'm not trying to drag it out. I've been sick and everything, and you know, yada yada yada. But that's still open. I'll be closing Wednesday night. And go ahead and click that subscribe button if you're new here. Click that bell to be notified to any of my newest uploads. And stay tuned, you guys. We got a lot more coming at you. This is Gary from Killer Off-Road Hobbies saying get out there, get an RC, go have some fun, and we'll see you right back here on the next video. Peace.